Hello, I am here with Sister Priscilla Solomon, who is from North Bay, and Sister has been here in these days leading up to the canonization, as well as these past 2 days, and we have just come from St. John Lateran Church, and where we had the celebration of Thanksgiving Mass. So welcome, Sister.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
How does it feel to be here in Rome?
It feels really absolutely wonderful. It's a great, great blessing.
Yes.
And I'm thrilled.
Is this your first time here?
No, I was here for the beatification, so it's amazing to be at this point in my lifetime where she's also has been canonized now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of work leading up to this day to get...
A lot of work, a lot of prayer, yes, from people right across the world, because
Yes.
I met people from around the world at the beatification.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there were people from around the world who were at the canonization who named Kateri was the one for whose canonization they had come.
Wow.
So that was wonderful. And it's wonderful to see so many Aboriginal people here. Our own people have prayed for so long
Yes.
and have wondered why, and the day has finally come.
Yes. How was it to be at the canonization itself? You think back at that day, which was yesterday, as a matter of fact. What was a momentous occasion for you in that whole event?
I think it was to see the picture of Kateri on the wall with the others who are being identified as new saints for the entire church, and to say she is one of us, she is one of ours. Our people are being acknowledged by her canonization.
Right.
And that's a very powerful thing, I think, for any one of us who is of Aboriginal or Indigenous heritage, to have one of our own acknowledged as saint.
Impressive.
Yeah.
What do you think she's going to be able to do, and what are you hoping that she'll be able to do within the First Nations community at large, and not just, say, within Northern Ontario where you come from and where you work, but when you think about, as you said, we saw people there who were across Canada, in the United States. What is it that you're hoping that St. Kateri would be able to do for us now that she's being recognized, as you said?
I think my deepest hope is that Kateri will be able to bring back to the living faith, or to the practice of our faith, so many of our people, not necessarily coming back to what they knew before, but an opportunity to become aware that one of our own has been named as saint. It is possible to be a holy person from within our culture and from within our Christian baptism. But Kateri lived 24 years. 20 of those she was not Catholic.
That's right.
And so to say that there is some goodness there, my hope is that goodness will be enlivened and claimed, and that those of us who have been baptized into the Catholic faith will come to know Jesus in a new way because of Kateri and because of her love for her faith and for her love for Jesus.
Right.
Revitalization of faith.
Right. So
and a new evangelization that will go with that comes from our people to our people, and from others who work with our people to be evangelized with us too.
Right. So what you're saying in some ways is that Kateri is a saint for the modern times.
Yes, she is. Yes, yeah.
And so her work is going to work in this diverse, multicultural context that we find ourselves in as a people today, and in a world that wants to renounce Christianity, renounce the centrality of God and Christ, and she's going to be a sign.
She's one that I would hope would bring us back to the acknowledgement of who our God is, whether we acknowledge that God from an Aboriginal spiritual tradition or from a Catholic spiritual tradition. The presence of God in our world, I think, is a significant reality that we're struggling with.
Yes.
And I think Kateri is one of the ones who's going to help us come back to that awareness.
That's great.
She's been doing that all along.
Yes.
So this is just an acknowledgement of what she's been doing.
When you think about it, 322 years, since her death.
Yes.
and that she has kept her memory has been kept alive, her story has been kept alive, and her spirit is alive in the hearts of us as people, as a faith community.
That's right.
That in itself is a testimony.
That is a testimony to her work, that she's doing this work already.
Right.
And so I just hope that it will just explode into our world with a power of love and a force of life that we just don't think about ordinarily.
It's amazing how this young woman, as you say, she lived 24 years, and she was weakened by disease, disfigured in some ways, her physical appearance, and for a culture that looks at beauty, the culture that looks at, sort of exonerates the youth in all its sort of perfectionism, God chose her to be the one to be a sign of hope and inspiration for all of us, but in a sense she can be an incredible hope and inspiration for young people.
She can be, and I think she is. I think as she's known better, as we speak about her and bring awareness into the broader Canadian church even, where she's not known, but where this is an opportunity for her to become known, I think she's a great sign of hope for young people today. There are lots of young people who have no hope.
Yes.
And for them to say, here is a young woman who lived a good life and who will support me as I try to sort through how I live a good life. What I liked about her last name, Tekakwitha, has so many different meanings. And that's pretty modern too. I mean, that's our reality too, so many different experiences of reality. But she who stumbles about because she can't see, and yet she had that deep inner vision. So I think there are young people that are stumbling, and what they're searching for is that inner vision, so they can pray to Kateri to help them find that inner vision. It's there, the goodness is there, it's to find it. So it's to be secure in it.
Right, so they can start to walk a path.
That's right.
A path that has more balance than the path that they've chosen on their own, that creates so much imbalance.
Or that society invites them to choose.
Exactly. Going back to the Mass of Thanksgiving, is there anything that jumps out at you, stands out as being sort of a moment of gratitude for you? Or are you just filled with all kinds of gratitude right now?
Well, I do go away with a lot of gratitude. I think one of the things was to hear one of the readings in Kateri's own tongue, to hear the Mohawk language being spoken. It was her language. She heard it as a child. I heard it today by one of her people, and it connects me through language to her. The whole celebration was beautiful. The music was beautiful. I understand there was a little glitch with having Deacon Ron Boyer be present and do an Aboriginal ritual, because there wasn't a lot of Aboriginal there. That was probably the one thing that, if things could have been done differently, that would have been good. But it didn't happen that way. The way it happened, it was beautiful.
Perhaps we'll have some other great moment to
future moment. Kateri's got lots of work to do with us as a church.
She'll offer us another moment to which we could demonstrate ritual beyond ritual.
I think the opportunity will come.
Well, thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
And continue to enjoy these days.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks.